So,
And if you want to take your mask off right now, you can.
Okay.
If we're not going to get you
Okay.
sick, or
I
they're
don't
not
want
going to
to
get
no,
us sick.
I just don't want you just sick.
you're not going to get us
We're not
sick.
gonna
Okay.
We're too mean to
If
get
you're
sick.
comfortable, I'm comfortable.
Yes.
So, tell me the history of your family.
Originally, my mom was from Kyle and my dad was from Mexico. He came over looking for work when he was kind of young. So, once we were born, I was born in San Marcos, and my sister was born in Kyle, and my two brothers were too. So there's 4 of us. My dad used to work in a ranch. You know where Salt Lake is? He used to work there for a while, and I remember, living in that little house. And then we moved further down that same road onto another ranch. I remember I must have been about 4, and then we came to Drippin, and right there, as you come on Creek Road, you know where the turn is, and that big old brand new house. There's to be a 2-building house there. That we lived there. So my dad bought this land here.
Wow.
And he worked for Rippy's Mohair right at Metro Road.
Yep.
He worked for them, and then he started doing construction work. And he said he bought this land. It was these 2 acres. That part over there was not ours yet. So we parked at that neighbor's house. They would let us park there when we come to our land.
To the back, through the woods.
We
or
would
whatever.
walk. There used to be a little trail there.
Yep.
And a gate. So they used to let us park there and we'd come this way. So the little track in the back was her kitchen. The first 2 nights we slept in the kitchen, and then my dad built 2 rooms. Then in the next, once he collected more money.
Were 4 kids at that
4
time?
kids.
Okay, in 2 rooms.
And then the parents. And then he built these 2 rooms. And then once he collected more money, he built the other 2, which is the kitchen, their room, and the bathroom. And then in a couple of years more, he built the other 2, which was with the living room.
And he did this himself?
Bedroom for the boys.
He built it himself?
Him and my uncle. I can remember them.
Okay.
Now,
even my uncle did the electricity, so I don't know if he wasn't really an electrician back then. So, God kept us safe because so far the electricity has, once in a while when I put too much appliance, it will shut off.
Yeah,
so I have to be careful.
That happens to everybody.
I have to be careful most in the winter time. When I have a heater on or something, it'll jump the breaker.
Yeah.
Now, does the house have heat and air conditioning?
When we were growing up, my dad used a fireplace. Wooden stove. One in the kitchen and that little fireplace right there.
Right.
Wow.
And then we didn't have heating in our bedroom, which just had covers, and the bathroom had a small electric heater. So when we took baths, as my parents passed away, my mom passed away, and then my dad remarried. So he left the land to all 4 of us, and he moved to Cedar Valley with his new wife. So my little brother was living here, and then he decided to move out. So I came since when Marie was 1 year old. We've been living here.
Wow.
And we lived here in Drippin all our lives.
Is Marie the oldest? Is Marie your oldest?
No, I have a son. Ricky.
Okay.
I have a son. He lives in San Antonio. He's my oldest. Him and Marie are 6 years apart. They grew up here in Drippin. He lived for a while in Austin, but now he's in San Antonio. And I have 5 grandchildren and 3 great-grandchildren.
Wonderful.
And how do you heat and cool now the place?
In the wintertime, we usually have the electric heaters. And we have a window unit, which we only have one in our bedroom.
So you can sleep.
And regular fans for the kitchen and the other rooms.
Okay.
But it's never had central heat.
And what about that other house over there? What's the story behind that?
It's just had electric. We just
used it for a kitchen.
That was mostly for the kitchen.
Okay. So what are you looking forward to, and what are you concerned about with your house, with a new house coming?
I am very thankful, that I'm gonna get a house. I always dreamed that I would spend all my years here, and I lived in this house for so long. I'm very grateful with all the people from y'all that are helping us get the home. Very blessed. It'd just be nice to not to worry about how cold the house is or how hot it is.
Yeah, and safe.
So your goal is you want to live here the rest of your life.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I know I couldn't really afford a brand new house on my own because, you know, pretty soon I have to retire. And, you know, I wouldn't be able to make the payment.
Right.
Where do you work? What are all your jobs? Because I know you have more than just our church.
As a teenager, I worked at Wood Creek in Wembley,
Yeah.
cleaning up. It was a resource, cleaning their apartments. I worked there for maybe 4 or 5 years, and after Ricky was born, I went back again. After that, I worked in the Stripping School District as a custodian. And then after that, I worked for 21 years in the cafeteria. And then after that, I went to the Precision Church daycare. We were there for 3 years. And after that, I went back to the school district daycare. And now I'm at Mount Olive daycare.
Yes.
I've also cleaned houses for people around Dripping Springs area.
So you're at Mount Olive. Is that kind of full time?
Yes, it's a full-time job.
And then on Sundays you
I
work
do the church.
the Presbyterian church,
Church on the little babies.
the nursery, the babies.
Yes.
And what do you like about that?
Because the babies are just adorable at that age, you know. I mean, how can I explain it? It's like they're your own grandkids. You just love them and they love you back.
Yeah.
And they know that. They feel that. That's what I've always grown up feeling like if you show those babies love, they're gonna love you right back. And I always tell my friends, they feel it when you love them, and they feel it when you're frustrated with them. But that's just babies. You gotta just learn how to handle that and work the right way with them, and they'll love you right back.
Yeah.
And like I've had parents say, "My child always prays for you at nighttime," and you know that's a blessing. That little child remembered me in their nighttime prayer.
Yeah, you're an important part of their life.
I try to show them a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
You know, that you're a little person, but you're still unique in your own ways, and they're not all the same. They're all different. And you always got to remember that because this worked for this child, it's going to work for this child. You just got to find the best way to deal with the person, the little poor baby who's having a rough day. Because I think the main thing they want to know is that they are safe while they're away from their parents. And that's what I try to give them.
So when growing up in this house for your kids, like what's one of your favorite memories that you have?
Growing up in Dripping, it was small, that everybody knew everybody. And in school, everybody took care of each other. I mean, the community had always, well, for my family, they always took interest in us. If we were going the wrong way, they always said, your child's going the wrong way, let's bring him back to the right way. And they would always help my parents say, Julian or Val or somebody's going the wrong way, let's help them come back to the right way. They always cared for us. And even the teachers have along the way helped, tell us, I'm sure you know what's right and what's wrong. And in a small town, everybody knows everybody, takes care of each other. Back then it was like that. And it still is right now to a point, even I don't have kids in school, but my grandkids still have teachers that care for them and look after them. So, and I don't think I would trade living anywhere else besides Strip. I mean, it used to be that you blinked and you missed Strip because there was only one light, but I'm not a real big, like I say, I've never been in the big cities, so I really wouldn't know how to manage that. And here, like back then when we were growing up, you didn't have to even lock your doors because everybody knew everybody. Everybody was take care of you. So,
what was it like bringing Marie home? She was 1 when you came to this house?
Yeah,
So
she was
what was
tiny.
that like?
The only thing I missed about that was that, my mom didn't get to see her grandkids. That's the only sad part of it. But, they had a home to come to, and, I knew that I wouldn't have somebody knocking on my door and saying, you can't pay the rent. So
It was
this is
yours.
something that I always felt was a plus for us, that we always had a home, that our dad started, and we try to keep up, you know, for us. And maybe somehow she's seeing her grandkids and great grandkids
Yeah,
living in her home.
I think so.
So, but like I say, I wouldn't trade it living anywhere else, or the friends that I've met along the way. Seems like in every job or place I've been, there's always been two or three special persons that have always told me about Jesus and said, we want to help you, or they help me in some way. And he seems like he's always put somebody in my path that was going to be able to help. And Miss Betty's one of them.
We know that.
Yeah, she's
She
a
is.
wonderful person.
Yeah, she is a very sweet person. So, I'm thankful. And even when I worked in the school district, my boss told me the same thing. She handed me an envelope and she said, the Lord told me you needed this. I don't know what you need it for.
Wow.
It's like I had just started with her, working with her, and I needed a down payment for voice cataract. And the Lord had kept telling her that I needed this money, and she kept ignoring it. And she finally said, I can't ignore it no more. Here it is.
Well, that must be why we feel very blessed to be building this house for you.
I feel, blessed that I had all these people around me that God put around me to help me. And even though sometimes we want things done at our time, but it's at His time.
Yep.
And like, He'll never give us more than we can handle. So that's
Yeah. Awesome.